And a very good morning to all our viewers watching this stream on replay. We are coming to you live from beautiful Muizenberg, just outside of Cape Town downtown. And we're going to do another exciting walking tour today with Sheldon from Sheldon's Walking Tours. And good morning once again, everybody. So we are here with Sheldon from Sheldon's Walking Tours. Good morning, Sheldon. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everyone. I am Sheldon. Welcome back to the beautiful area of Muizenberg. Right in front of us, we've actually got the Muizenberg train station, and it's one of the only train stations with a teak wood clock tower at the top. It was built in 1913. And it does look a little bit odd to be in Muizenberg today, but it was built during the heydays of Muizenberg history. The heydays of Muizenberg was 1880 to 1960, 1970, and so this is the old railway station. Interesting fact is a railway line, a train used to come all the way from Johannesburg and used to come all the way here to Cape Town, to Muizenberg area in Cape Town. This is one of the, while we were often referred to as Jewsenberg, as a third of the whole Jewish population used to come here to Muizenberg. It's also very well known today because of the incredible surf that we've got here in Muizenberg, and with Surfers Corner being a very big highlight of the Muizenberg area. If you look just down the way over here, we're going to see the beautiful waves. And interesting fact, this is in False Bay. Now, the reason why the name False Bay is because it gave the Dutch and the Portuguese a false sense of hope that they arrived at the Castle of Good Hope, where they would have done trading. As we can see, that is an incredible place for surf here in Cape Town. It is a surfer's mecca. Incredible fact is that this water level over here is much lower in False Bay, which causes the ocean to be coming with these incredible waves. In Cape Town, we've also got a wind that's often referred to as a southeaster, the Cape Doctor. It's an onshore wind which grabs up the nutrients from the ocean and blows into the mountains in the area. And that's why in Cape Town, we are very well known for the fynbos, one of the smallest but largest biomes in the world. If you're also looking onto this side, we've got some beautiful art here in Muizenberg, done by Buck One. Respect Mother Earth for all that she's worth. And we can also see the beautiful sunshine and the surfer running into the Muizenberg area. If you look a little bit further on, you're also going to see the surfers' huts. Now, those huts used to be around here from the 1800s, used to be changing rooms for women, and that they used to go out to the ocean, and that's where they would change. So those are the famous huts that we got in the Muizenberg area. If you're looking right across the road over here, we've also got the Collectible Cafe, which is an antique store. So any of those that are interested in antiques in Muizenberg, this is one of the best places to get your collectibles cafe. If you look a little bit further down, you're going to see that building over there. And now that building, locally, by locals, we refer to that as the Purple Palace. It's been around really empty for the last 20 years. It's a little bit of an eyesore in Cape Town or in Muizenberg. And yeah, they are working on it at the moment, and they're going to renovate it to make it absolutely a stunning place in the future. We're just going to go on inside the Muizenberg railway station. I'll just show you the beautiful building over here. You can see all the rocks of this train station is all from the area of Kalk Bay. You can see the very strong rocks been meant to build up for a very long time. In fact is that back in the day, you can get a train ride from Cape Town to Muizenberg for R5. Can you imagine paying R5 for a train ride here in Cape Town? So I'm going to go to the back over here through the train station. So this is the beautiful entrance where you would have come. You can see the beautiful entrance. And just down the way over here, this is the ticket office at the Muizenberg train station.
Sheldon, how old did you say this building is again?
It's from 1913 this building was built.
1913,
Really
okay.
incredible building here in the area of Muizenberg. You can also see on the ground over here, we've got all the social distancing. Obviously we've got the COVID-19 at the moment, and it's very well laid out. Looking in front of us, we've also got the famous cannons. Now, Muizenberg was also very well known for the first British occupation or the invasion of the Cape Colony, which happened here in 1795. And these ones have been restored by a gentleman named by the name of Mr. Peter Wright. He does incredible work on the Historic Council. If you look a little bit further down, you can see that building over there. That is an outlook building, and that was also built by the British as an outlook station where they would look over into the area if they're invading enemies on their way. I'm just going to show you next. We're going to walk out this way. So this railway line hits all the way from Cape Town. It goes right up to Simonstown. So it's quite a long journey that you do here in the area of Muizenberg. If you're looking right in front of us, we've also got the beautiful mountains. And now these are the Cape Peninsula Mountains. The Cape Peninsula Mountains run all the way from Cape Point right into the Hunklip Mountains, which is right around, which forms an incredible C shape that is in the area.
Lady just asked us, what are we doing? So, yeah, people must be looking strange. One guy with a microphone and one guy walking with a phone next to him. But, yeah, this is what we do now, guys. We take it live online.
So if you look at the name over here, Muizenberg. Muizenberg is actually named after William Wynand Meuse, who was a Dutch settler who actually came here to protect the area against any invasion. So that is the name Muizenberg, named after William Wynand Meuse. You can also find that Cape Town has one of the longest coastal areas, which means we also got blue stags beaches, and this is the transportation that we still use in Muizenberg. If you're looking at this one, the crowds that used to be around in the Muizenberg area, 1913 Muizenberg train station, and this is what the railway line looks like over there. So this is the early form of transportation. At the top over there, you can also find the ox wagon that we used to use, and the very bumpy roads they used to go on all the way from Cape Town all the way down to Simonstown. Can you believe it? That is how they went. And now today we've got this incredible road network over here, which has been widened. Yes, absolutely. Right. Which is really a help today. So the next building is referred to as the Posthuis. Now the Posthuis is a very interesting building, as we do think it is the second oldest building in Cape Town, built in 1679. So that's the building on this side of here. However, work was done on the Posthuis in 1980, and they found that it's actually not the oldest building. It was actually built in about 1840 here in Muizenberg. However, we can still see the cannons on the outside of the Posthuis. The Posthuis is not like a post house where you post your newsletters. It was a post house for the military. And that we can see the cannons. This was in the center of the Battle of Muizenberg that happened. It happened between the 7th of August 1795 until the 15th of September 1795. It was a 6-week skirmish that we had where the British took over on the invasion of the Cape. Later on, I will show you the capture site and go into a bit more detail of this battle. So today, what we use here, the Posthuis, it is a museum. It's got some beautiful museum inside. And when they done excavation in 2010, they actually uncovered the rocks and the shoals that the First Nation tribes would have used. You can see the beautiful blue train as we go past here. This is a new line we've got
New
here.
metro rail, yes.
New metro rail, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's much faster and much safer to travel on the new metro rail. One thing that you do never also see with a car, if you look right at the back, you might actually see a statue of Jan van Riebeeck. Now, Jan van Riebeeck, he came here in 2015 when we had the massive strikes against the Roads Must Fall campaign, and it does seem like he is going to be here forever. So that Jan van Riebeeck was the first Dutchman who was set here in the Cape on the 6th of April 1652 to start it off as a refreshment station. So this is the post house. You can come here to the museum today, which is also owned by the Muizenberg Historical Society today, the post house.
Yeah, and that's your typical, so it looks like your typical Dutch architecture, right?
Very much
With the
the
thatched roofs,
old
yes.
Dutch architecture, but it's very similar to the long houses. So it's not an ordinary Cape Dutch architecture because of the long roof we've got over here, which does show it may be built a little bit later than the early Dutch occupation in Cape. Okay. If you go a little bit further down over here,
So this beautiful bay here, I believe that we're looking at here, Sheldon, this is called False Bay, correct?
Yes, this is False Bay over here.
Yeah.
There you can see they're even fishing today. We still use the old fishing techniques. With the boats going out, they often go with the boat all the way down to Cape Point. You can see on the far side, that is going towards Cape Point on that side over there.
Which is the most southwestern point.
Yes,
in Africa, yes.
Unofficial meeting point of the two oceans. If you look right over here, this is the oldest post office in Muizenberg, the oldest post office, which was then later on used as basically a place where the judge used to be, the courts. What they would do when the people had to go to the courts, they would reverse in, and you can see the door at the bottom. That is where they would go up into trial. Now, the post office, a very interesting event happened in 1911 when there was a plane that took off from Kenilworth in Cape Town and flew here into Muizenberg. And that was the start of our airmail transfers here in Cape Town. So this is the oldest post office we've got here in Muizenberg.
Beautiful.
If you go a little bit further down, you're going to see in the middle, that is where the old horse stables used to be. The Mounted Horse Police Station, and over here we got the police station, the SAS Police Station or museum today. And this used to be the old Carnegie Public Library. Carnegie has actually started a place in the New York City. Carnegie actually is a US philosopher that gave a lot of money into South Africa for education and the use of education because he really believed in the power of education. So this is the old library in Muizenberg. The next building is really one of my favorite buildings. This is actually the Casse Labia. Now the Casse Labia on this side, you can see the beautiful gardens where they've used the natural vegetation from the area and they're using it from the mountains over here. This is referred to as the fynbos. Cape Town has 3,500 different species of plant and animal species, and 90% of that can only be found in Cape Town and really nowhere else in the world. So you can see the beautiful natural fynbos coming down from the mountains. Wow. This back section over here, this is where they often use for yoga classes, and they also got the open air cinemas, which you can often enjoy the beautiful screenings of some of the most famous movies here at the Casse Labia. Casse Labia today is owned by the Ideals cartel, and that is why they are doing accommodation as well. So the Casa Labia, built in 1928 for Prince and Princess Natal Labia from Italy, Venice in Italy, and this was actually their home. It was an Italian embassy, and we can see that this was also a part of their house. In 1960, this was turned into the Canadian embassy. 1970, it went to the Argentina embassy. But I'm very happy to say that the Casa Labia family is back today since 2008, and they're using it as a multicultural or functional venue where you can come for your meetings, your restaurant, and this is inside the beautiful Casa Labia. Original owners Natalia Labia from Venice in Italy. Beautiful. So also what they've done over here, we can see they wanted to show the spirit of the Venetians in the 18th century. So they brought Mr. Angelo from Venice in Italy, and he done all the interior decorating in this building, and the designing of the building as well comes through that Venetian spirit of the 18th century. If you look right over here, we got the architecture design of the buildings. Obviously, the architecture has really changed through all the years. Basically, from the Dutch days to the British days, we can see all the architectural influences. Over here, we also got the beautiful old houses from Muizenberg. You can see the thatch roofs that we have in the area. And here's the coastal resort. Now, the coastal resort, as I say, that was a part of the high rise of the Muizenberg history. It really happened between 1880 to 1960. Now, the reason why 1960 is because they introduced the grading council into our hotels in Muizenberg. And a lot of the old hotels, like this one at the top, Farmer Peck's Inn, they didn't actually have a bathroom. So a lot of them actually closed down. Because to get one grade, you had to have a star. And then in 1970, the people from Johannesburg, instead of coming down to Cape Town or to Muizenberg, they would rather go to Durban. Right over here, we can also see the beautiful Casa Labia and Prince and Princess Natalia Labia over there.
Right, folks, you also see there's a QR code in the top right, so you can also use your mobile phone, and if you scan that QR code, that will actually take it to the page where you folks, if you wanted to donate and you appreciate this live stream here with Sheldon, you can just scan that QR code and it will automatically take you to the donation page, which is greatly appreciated.
See the beautiful waterfall over there. Also showing the spirit of the Venetians.
Oh, there we go. It's got a very European feel to it.
Yes, very much, yeah. How it is. So you can see over here, this overlooks the beautiful area of Muizenberg.
Gorgeous winter's day here in this part of the world.
Yes, no, absolutely gorgeous. It's always good to come and explore the area of Cape Town. So if you look at the top of here, this is the family over there of Natalia Labia. That is the family original owners of the Labia. And over here we can actually see the family together as well. If you are interested in cricket, you can also find some beautiful South African cricketers over there, Justin Kemp, David Miller, Jar Cullis, and a little bit of the history of the Casa Labia is also found over here. So this is the beautiful restaurant that you can come to, and they've got the lovely courtyard at the back over there. So you can see really this is just one of the rooms that they got. They really haven't wasted any much over all the years. And it's at the best of the best because it was for a royal family from Venice in Italy.
This is the restaurant, I believe.
Yeah, this is the beautiful restaurant we can come to, and they got also function venues.
Mainly Italian cuisine, is it, or a bit of
Also South African cuisine now. A lot of the South African cuisine that you can also get here at the beautiful Casa Labia.
Gorgeous.
It's quite good. That's been my trip. That's been one of my little
So this is just the outside area of the Casa Labia. You can see the beautiful ocean view. They also got the lovely restaurant over here. You can go to the back. That is actually the Italian garden with all natural vegetation that they've got inside here at the Casa Labia.
On a nice day like this, you definitely want to sit out there and have a little beverage and enjoy the views.
It's so lovely that you can get here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
Look at that. Look at that. All right. Beautiful.
And this is the old courtyard where you can actually come to the Labia restaurant and you can order all your lovely foods here at the Casa Labia. This is the courtyard. And if you have a bike, you can also
leave your
get
bike
some
there,
bikes over here.
Grab some lunch and then continue cycling.
And yeah, you got the beautiful waterfalls as well.
It's nice, the amazing water features.
Yeah. And if you look at the roof over here, some beautiful paintings as well. Very angelic, the place looks. It feels like you're in Paris every visit of the Casa Labia.
Ooh, there we go. All our sweet tooths.
Yeah. And that's the Labia family as we see them over here.
By the door.
Yeah. What is it?
Folks, if you got any questions in that, even for everybody on the watching on replay, please feel free to pop it in the comments, and we will certainly answer those for you. Also, folks, if you are interested in coming on the show as a guest speaker, or you are interested in doing a private tour with Sheldon, which will be a virtual tour, and on any particular area or interest, please email us at info@letstalkshow.co.za, or you can also get in touch with Sheldon on his Facebook page. Sheldon, yeah?
Yes, on Sheldon's Walk-In Tours. You can find me over there on Sheldon's Walk-In Tours. As we go past here, this is the Canty Bay House and the Night Villa. This was not a lot is known about when it was established, but definitely the veranda. It was included on this building in the 1890s. It was actually a part of a general that used to work here in Muizenberg area. So you can see the original rocks all from Kalk Bay. It's also a lovely day. You can come and stroll along the beautiful Muizenberg beachfront. It goes all the way down to St. James. And if you like, you can even go all right down to Simonstown. Depends on how far you would actually like to enjoy the beautiful views of
folks, I also must say, with this train ride and that from Cape Town, I must say this last bit that you do here almost feels like you can imagine yourself being in the French Riviera. This is our French Riviera.
Absolutely.
Like all the way down to that Nice, Monaco bit, but absolutely gorgeous.
And right over here, you're going to see the French word Belle Vue, which means the perfect view. No wonder it's only found here in Muizenberg with this beautiful view over here, the Belle Vue.
That's right.
So next I'll be showing us what is referred to as the paper mache house. Can you believe a house was actually built with water-resistant paper mache? That will be on our next stop. We're going to go past the mache house. So right over here, this is the paper mache house. It was built in 1910. It was actually built by a gentleman from Yokohama in Japan. And it's actually a water-resistant paper mache house. This house is only reason why it's looking a little bit, like needs TLC is really because they painted acrylic paint over this water-resistant paper, which you're not really supposed to be doing. So that's why the house looks like it needs a bit of TLC. But it was actually built with water-resistant, low-maintenance paper mache from Yokohama in Japan. Wow. Really one of the most beautiful designs of architectural design that we've really got from the Japanese people here in South Africa. Very interesting fact is we've got a lot of the older buildings compiled by the new buildings along the walk over here in Muizenberg. Looking right across the way over there, that is Abby Bailey's house. Now, Abby Bailey was a very keen fisherman, and that was his little fishing cottage you would have here. Abby Bailey himself was a great friend of Cecil John Rhodes, who was the 9th Prime Minister of the Cape Colony, and that is Abby Bailey's house, and that is where he would have stayed when he was here in the area of Muizenberg. Right over here, this is the officially known as the old capture site in the Battle of Muizenberg. Now, as I said, it was a 6-week skirmish. What essentially happened, a little bit of the context, is France just taken over to Holland, and Prince William, Prince of Orange, he fled to England into exile with a letter to say, come and protect the Cape. He actually arrived here in September, and they arrived here in Simonstown. August 1795, they arrived in Simonstown, and they said, look, we need to get a bit of protection against any invasion of the French. And they really invited themselves as friends, but in actual fact, they were really enemies. And this is when we had a 6-week skirmish. What happened on the 7th of September 1795, we had basically 1,800 men going alongside a squadron of boats. They went all the way down to the surface corner, which is the bottom corner right at the top over there, and they fired 600 cannon shots in a period of 30 minutes, and this is what really frightened the Dutch, and they moved off to the area of retreat and to Wynberg. Later on, they actually sent a bigger squadron of boats, and this is when it ended on the 15th of August 1795. This is when the Battle of Muizenberg, and this was referred to as the capture site here in the area. We look at how important this battle was. Well, the British were here for the first time, so it actually changed our administration, it changed our language, and it also opened us up to international trade for the first time. Now, as we walk along here, we can see the very high-rise walls. Now, these high-rise walls were in place because the water used to come all the way up here back in the day. So this home over here was originally supposed to be built for Cecil John Rhodes. It's called the Rust and Vrede. However, it was completed in 1903, which was a bit of a problem because Cecil John Rhodes passed away in 1902 in his holiday cottage. This is when Mr. Abby Bailey took over this building. You can see it's also Mr. Cecil John Rhodes really believed in simplicity. So we can see a very simple home with a natural vegetation around it. So this is referred to as Rust and Vrede. If you had to go right at the back, you're still going to see the steps that go down to Abby Bailey's grave. So this is Rust and Vrede. Abby Bailey would have taken it over from Cecil John Rhodes. You can see here as we go past, Mr. Cecil John Rhodes also wanted the walls a bit higher because the water used to come up to such a degree. So that's why you can see there's a much higher wall over here. And looking right across the way, we can see the cracking of the ocean over there. Really great conditions for coming to surf here in Muizenberg.
Some great waves out here today, folks. Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful, yeah. It's also great for cycling along here. You can come out with your cycle. You don't have to only walk, but you can also cycle. Right over here, this is Mr. Herbert Baker's house. He done a very incredible buildings in Cape Town and in South Africa. He done the Union buildings, the St. George's Cathedral, part of the House of Parliament, and this was actually his house over here. This is Mr. Herbert Baker, Cecil John Rhodes' architect. And if you look at the wall, you can see it's a very high wall, and right at the top, you can see the new bricks laid at the top over there. So the next house is Cecil John Rhodes' house. He was the founder of the De Beers Mine Company and the 9th Prime Minister of the Cape Colony. And this is where his little cottage is located today here in Muizenberg. You can also come here for beautiful sightseeing. And Cecil John Rhodes passed away in this back room of this house. You can see the beautiful thatch roof of the Cape Dutch influence as well. So there we go.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. So yeah, let's just have a look inside there quickly.
Yeah, we're busy with a live stream for our viewers, on the show. So we're actually both tour guides. So we're just sharing this with everybody.
So yeah, this is Cecil John Rhodes. He passed away on the 26th of March, 1902.
But I believe this was not his burial place, right?
Yeah, so this wasn't his. He passed away in the house over here. Yes. So if you just look a little quickly in this. What? 1902.